Well guys, today's video was supposed to be on the Golf GTI, but I was started to film and I encountered a problem. Basically, I went to start rebuilding the turbo and the turbo core is wrong. It doesn't fit the exhaust manifold, so I'm gonna have to send it back and get another one. So kind of put a halt to that video. So I've kind of paused that, and once I get the new turbo back, I will continue that video, and the Golf GTI engine rebuild can properly begin. So I thought I'm in a bit of a pickle at the minute, because obviously I'm just going to do a garage update in today's video, because I've got the RS6, the Golf GTI, the C63, the SQ5, and yeah, a lot of you have been asking questions about each one individually. So I thought I might as well do a bit of an update to see where we're at with all the cars. Right, I'll start with the easiest car, and that is the SQ5, and that is purely because there is nothing to tell about it. This is the daily driver. It's in use every single day. I've done just under 1,000 miles in it already, and I'm pleased to report there are no problems whatsoever. The wiring's all held up. I've had no issues with this car whatsoever, as I'd have hoped and expect. So yeah, really happy with the SQ5, and couldn't really ask. Oh, got my private plate on. Couldn't really ask for a better car, to be honest. This is exactly what you want as a daily driver. Spot on. Next up, we have the Golf GTI Mark 7. It's kind of been forgotten about, to be honest. It's been a bit neglected in the last couple of, well, months really. There isn't actually anything wrong with this now, if I'm honest. I believe the last video I did in it, I was having problems with speed. I think it wasn't as quick as I expected it to be. But I did find out that I think that was just down to the fact that I didn't turn traction control off, so therefore it was just limiting power. I'm pretty sure that was all the issue, because I have since driven it and it felt a bit quicker. So in terms of what we're doing with this, there is, I think, one more video to do on this before I will put it up for sale, and that is going out for some more draggy times, just to like finalise that the engine is fine, because obviously this is stage 3, what's it, 500-ish. Probably 470 being more realistic PS. So yeah, in terms of actual running issues, I think this is actually all now completely fine, but you can see how long it's been sat here. Got cobwebs all over the alloys, just crap all in there, discs a little bit rusty. Yeah, so I am going to do like one final video on this, and as I said, that is just to do some more draggy times to get some proper figures. I'm also going to rewrap it, which seems quite major, purely because obviously this wrap I did in silver over a year ago now, probably, and although it's held up well, pretty well, to be fair, it looks exactly the same as the day after I wrapped it, but it was my first attempt at wrapping a car, and because of that it's not perfect. Look, so you can see the edges have started coming away in places, like there, look, there. I didn't do a great job of the fuel cap, just little bits here. I mean, it's nothing major. Where else we got? I think the roof's alright actually, but it's bubbled a little bit here, and you can see there, look, the edges are coming up. So it's nothing major at all, but I'm not happy selling it like that. So, and obviously I never actually finished wrapping it. Look, I was 2 meters short, and therefore it stayed unwrapped on those 2 bits. The rest of the car is done. So I am going to rewrap it, and I am going to rewrap it a different colour. I have already chosen that colour. I haven't ordered it yet, so I will be doing that probably in the next couple of days. So yeah, I am going to fully rewrap it, and that will be this then pretty much done. Right, let's just have a look at the interior. There is one thing to do in the interior here, and that is the steering wheel. As you can see, I've already started taking it apart. I've taken the airbag out, and that is because I'm going to fit a steering wheel cover. I've got an Alcantara one to go on, just because this one's a little bit worn and got some fingernail marks in it and stuff. So I just think a nice Alcantara steering wheel cover will look a lot better. It is in here somewhere. I haven't got around to fitting it yet, but that is all that needs to be done on the interior, and then this car, yeah, will be pretty much done. I mean, I've had it so long now, it's probably due another MOT, being realistic. So before I can sell it, yeah, we're gonna have to MOT it as well. But other than that, yeah, the car is fine. It's just been a bit neglected the last couple of months. So yeah, one more video on this, which is probably going to have quite a lot in it, as everything I've just mentioned. But then yeah, Golf GTI will be up for sale. Next up we have the Touareg, and everyone will know I've got this up for sale. I think it's on eBay at the moment. I've had a couple of people win it and just not pay, not read the listing properly, etc. So it's still on eBay at the moment. I don't actually think it's going to be that bad a fix, but if I'm honest, I've just lost interest in it now. And the fact that what it's worth as like a spares or repairs versus what it's worth actually fixed, there's hardly anything in it, so it's just not worth me spending my time trying to fix it, if I'm honest. So I'd rather just get rid of it, give it to someone else who wants maybe an engine, or I don't know, parts for a car, whatever. Let them just take it away, and then I can just get something else, because lost a bit of interest in that, and it's not really worth my time. So that is the Touareg. It is for sale. It is on eBay currently. And RS6, now this is the one that's had the most people asking what's happening with it, and it's been some time. I cannot remember the last time I did a video on it and or what that video was, but it has been to an MOT. It has passed. I did then run out of fuel on the way home from MOT. I think they left it running for, well, basically I dropped it off there with a 10-mile range, and when I picked it up it had 0-mile range. Although it hadn't done any extra miles, they must have just left it idling for like an hour and a half, because I literally ran out of fuel driving it home. So that was fun. But no, got it back, all MOT'd, all absolutely fine. And again, I don't think there's now anything wrong with this car. I do have it booked in next week for a dyno run, because I am interested to see, as I'm sure you guys are, just how much power this thing has lost over its 215,000 miles that it's got on the clock. So dyno booked for this next week. Again, nothing wrong with it, I don't think. So once that has happened, that will be the final video on it, and then this will be up for sale as well. So if anyone's interested in the RS6, do let me know. And that leaves me with one last car, and I've just walked down to see it, and that is the C63. So again, with the C63, I am just waiting for things to turn up. So I actually got I've got a diagnostic equipment computer coming. It should have been here today, but it hasn't turned up, which is why I'm doing this garage update video. And once I've got the equipment, I can then make sure the battery is adapted to the car, so I can tell the ECU that the car has had a new battery. Once that's done, I can then monitor the ECU, because I believe that the voltage regulator may be gone on this, which is bolted to the alternator, I think. So we'll check that out using live data, see if it spikes at all, and if it does spike, is that when the computers and everything are shutting down in the car? I suspect that to be the case. I fitted a new battery last time, and it did actually start running okay, but obviously we want to get the computer on it just so we can adapt the battery properly, and we can then fully rule out any battery issues, and then focus our attention on the regulator and see what that's doing. When that's done, I've also got gearbox oil and filter to do as well, so I'm going to do a gearbox oil and filter change, and once all those have done and we've rectified the voltage problem, I'm hoping then this car will be done. Obviously this was supposed to have a hydro-locked engine, and it just didn't. So it does seem to be, I don't know, it drives okay, and then sometimes it doesn't, but I think that was down to the voltage regulator, if I'm honest. So a gearbox oil, full service, bought the parts from Mercedes. We'll sort the voltage regulator out, match the battery, and then fingers crossed, apart from like cosmetic stuff like getting rid of the wheels and putting some new tyres on it and a little bit of body work, this car will be done. So that is the C63. So even though I've just been filming the Golf GTI, I will just give you a quick update on this as well. Most of the engine parts are now in, so we can start rebuilding the engine. And just to remind you what it looks like, we just have it in this state. So the cylinder head's off. I've got a new cylinder head that went off to be reconditioned. Anyway, that's all back. This probably will be the next video, as long as I can get the turbo turned around or the new core back quick enough. The next video will probably be on the Golf GTI. But engine rebuild is literally videos away. Now, I nearly completely forgot, I was supposed to be doing a video on a BMW. I put it on Instagram that I went down to London to pick one up 7 or 8 weeks ago now. It was my dad's new car, but unfortunately he sold it pretty much as soon as he bought it. It was a BMW M3, and it was the X-Drive version as well, which is why I was really interested in it, because I do like four-wheel drive cars, and I have always liked the M3. I just wish they did it in a four-wheel drive variants. That's why I was interested in doing a video on this car. So I went down to pick it up. I didn't film anything on the collection day because I wanted to drive it for a little bit before I did like an initial impressions video. I wanted to get like 100 miles, 70, 80 miles under my belt, so I could let you know what I thought of it. I drove it back. Obviously my dad then had it, and then next thing I know, it's gone. Apparently there's a big problem. He didn't test it before he bought the car because he ordered it like October last year without seeing it and just assumed it'd be okay. But basically he goes golf 2 to 3 times a week, and yeah, his golf trolley and golf clubs didn't fit in the boot. So the car was absolutely completely useless to him. He couldn't use it, so he had to end up selling it. So I think he just went down to his local BMW, traded it straight in for an X5. So yeah, sorry about that guys, but there is going to be no video on the M3 because it is gone. So what I'll do is our 30-second review on what I thought on the 75 miles that I drove it back from London. Really good on fuel, average like 35, 36 mpg, which is mad. The infotainment / media system was quite tricky to navigate. There's loads of buttons I couldn't work out where things were or where things are. Might be just because I hadn't used it before, so I was not familiar with the system, but it felt a bit tricky to use. It looks really nice from the rear, still not sold on that front end, still a bit hit and miss for me. And that car was like 78 grand. Would I spend 78 grand on that car? I wouldn't personally. I just don't think that's 78 grand's worth. So for me, there's my 30-second review on the car that I drove for 100 miles. So guys, yes, that is the mini kind of garage update. So the RS6 and the Golf Gti are the 2 main cars that I want to concentrate on because I want to get rid of them because they've sat around for long enough now and there's nothing actually wrong with either of them, so I don't want them just sat there gathering dust. I'd rather sell them on to someone who's going to use them, so then that means I can freshen up or free up some money so I can get some new cars in to start work on. I have just tried to bid on a car and it went for way too much money. I think I've just put it on Instagram, so yeah, unfortunately I was really hoping I'd get that car, but yeah, it just went for too much money and I bailed out in the end. But I am on the hunt for a couple, well not 2, but yeah, anyway, need to get the Golf Gti sold, the RS6 sold, and then we can get some more cars in as well, guys. I mean, that is the importance of having sort of more than one project car on the channel, because I mean, I've only got the Golf GTI and the C63 that are really current projects, and I'm stuck on both of them, and that is why I'm doing this garage update video, because I don't have anything I can do. So I need to get those 2 cars gone so we can get some other projects in and make sure we don't have a dry patch like today. So that's it for today's video, guys. Short but sweet, but unfortunately, yeah, I've been working a lot recently. I put on Instagram, went up to Aberdeen, I was there for 2 days. So over the last sort of 6-7 weeks, actually, I've been driving quite a lot. So I've been really frustrated and unable to do as many YouTube videos as I want, which is obviously good for me because I'm busy, bad for you because I'm doing less videos. But I'm sure at some point that the car supply is going to really drop off a cliff. I keep being told it's next week. It doesn't happen, so I'm poised to get in the workshop full time and start getting more videos out for you guys, but I'm just waiting for that to happen basically. So yeah, normal service will resume in the next video. Hopefully we'll start the Golf GTI or it'll be the C63. Either or, I have something to do. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Apologies, this is probably a bit of a rubbish video if I'm honest, but there we go. Can't have it interesting all the time, but there we go. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.